She is fired. The acting attorney general is out after refusing to defend the president's travel ban. Good evening. Tonight, the White House calls her behavior a betrayal of the Department of Justice. Good evening, everyone. I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Christine Johnson. CBS 2's Tony Aiello is in our newsroom with the latest on the drama unfolding in D.C. tonight. Tony.
Well, Christine, earlier this month, President Trump asked the number 2 at the Justice Department to stay on until his attorney general nominee is approved. But tonight, he showed her the door for telling justice lawyers not to defend his controversial executive order on immigration. Monday evening, Sally Yates angered President Trump, saying, "I am not convinced that the executive order is lawful, so the Department of Justice will not present arguments in defense of the executive order." The president exacted swift revenge, firing Yates and saying she betrayed the Department of Justice, calling her weak on borders and very weak on illegal immigration. He appointed Dana Boente, a U.S. attorney in Virginia, to serve as acting attorney general until his nominee, Senator Jeff Sessions, is approved. Earlier, the president made fun of New York Senator Schumer for tearing up while discussing the executive order in the company of recent refugees and immigrants.
I know him very well. I don't see him as a crier. If he is, he's a different man. There's about a 5% chance that it was real, but I think they were fake tears.
I'm not going to dignify that kind of silliness. There are times he flatters me. There are times he calls names. That's not going to influence me. I'm going to do what I think is the right thing.
Protests over the executive order continued Monday. Hundreds raised their voices in Tompkins Square Park, and Chopper 2 with a view of hundreds more who gathered at Columbia University. Mr. Trump's executive order affects citizens from 7 countries that the White House says harbor terrorists. Some were denied flights to America, while 109 people were detained after landing and later released, many of them legal residents with green cards. Critics say the order is cruel and useless.
The average American is more likely, about 100 times more likely, to be struck by lightning than to be victimized by a refugee who's been led into this country. We've got some serious vetting that already takes place.
But polls show significant support for the immigration and refugee restrictions.
Keeping our country safe and lawful.
I do think that it's a great step to creating much needed action in the right direction.
Also tonight, the president fired the acting director of ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. It is not clear if that firing is related to the rollout of the immigration and refugee restrictions. But all in all, a pretty dramatic night in D.C. Live in the newsroom, Tony Aiello, CBS 2 News.